Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Founders Show. I'm your host for the day, Dushyant, and today we have with us Paras. Paras is the founder and CEO of Yelow. So we'll today decode how did he got hit by this brilliant idea, what is Yelow all about, and what innovation are we seeking in the future. Welcome to the show, Paras. So
Thanks,
uh,
Dushyant.
Okay, so we'll just simply start to the questions. What is Yelow all about? Why, if you have to explain it to my grandma, how will that go?
Yellow, if I need to explain to grandma. So at Yellow, what we are doing is like we are simplifying the car financing or car instead of like I can say the auto financing. Like if you are buying any two-wheeler, four-wheeler, anything. So what we do is like we are simplifying it. Currently, the process is like it takes approximately 2 days to get loan, and it's like it's not because it's not possible to get it fast. It's because there are a lot of manual process. So what we are doing is like we are digitizing all of this process so that you can get the loan within like 5 minutes, the approval and all. So that is what we are doing, like reducing the time from 2 days to like 5 minutes. Like if you remember 2 or 3 years back, there used to be credit card similar system similar to this. Like if you apply for a credit card,
Wait,
a
wait.
person will
If I heard it correct, you said like from 20 days to 5 minutes, right?
2 days to 5 minutes.
2 days to 5 minutes, man. That's crazy. Like literally, I'm really into this thing. What all you are going to explain to me? Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
like yeah, no worries. Like if you see like 2 years back, if you ever like tried to get a credit card, what used to happen is like someone used to call you, sir, like this credit card is available, it's pre-approved on your like profile and whatever. Like some agent will come to your home, he will collect all of those documents, then he will submit to the center will review it, then you will get the confirmation of the credit card is issued and all of those things, then you will get the credit card. Like this kind of things used to happen. Now like with the fintech, what happens is kind of you got an app, you just enter your details, Aadhaar card, PAN card, bank account, and all of those things, and it just within 5 minutes you have the soft like you have the approval of the credit card, you have the virtual card, and then what you will get the physical card like within 1 or 2 days, whatever. So this is what like digitizing all of the journey in which like we ask the details from you and verify like whether you are the eligible person for that particular thing or not, or like whether you are a real person or not a fraudster. It's like we are digitizing all of this journey so that the approval can take like it's like 2 days from 5 minutes. Like the current process involves a lot of people. It's like a lot of juggling, like collecting documents over WhatsApp from customer, then passing on to someone else, then he reviewing it manually and all those things. So just reducing all of things and giving you results in 5 minutes.
Got it. Okay, so like a very obvious question. There are a number of, like platforms like Paisa Bazaar, Loan Bazaar, whatnot. So why do you like I'm pretty much sure they do not provide this loan, auto loan, right? So is there a specific reason why they are not into this market? Or like what is that something that they are missing and that you have figured out?
Yeah. Like this was very surprising for me as well. Like if you see like this Paisa Bazaar, Loan Bazaar, whatever, like you will find every type of loan, credit card, personal loan, home loan, whatever. Like you will not find this car loan. And it's like it's very counterintuitive. Like if there are every type of loan available on this loan bazaar, why not just car loan? And I'm like it is the journey is pretty simple of a car loan. What happens is like a guy does not select that I want a car loan first. He select like I want a car first. Now he will go to a dealer, will select that particular car or two-wheeler, and then the dealer will make him available. Like, sir, this car loan is like you can get the financing for that particular vehicle. We will do it for you. So it's like more of like point of sale financing. It's kind of suppose you are buying a fridge. You don't decide that I will take the loan first and then buy a fridge. Like you go to a store, Reliance, whatever, Chroma, you buy a fridge, and then the person over there will say like you can get it on EMI. Like you can
Got it.
take it in like over the month or year.
Got it. So
So similarly,
you're basically saying that Paisa Bazaar or Loan Bazaar is into that D2C kind of a market, but Yellow, because as you rightly said, I'll go and buy, say, a Honda City or a Wagoner, but I don't want to buy a Bajaj FinServ loan. So when you target that sale point, then only it makes all of a sense, which is uncomparable to what the user journey looks like in case of Policy Bazaar or Paisa Bazaar. Sorry, Paisa
yeah,
Bazaar, the
yeah,
loan.
and yes, And what's happening is, of course, there are many other players currently coming up who are D2C. Like what happens is like you can get the approval, pre-approved loan that okay, I can buy a car of up to 10 lakh rupees. And then I need to go into the journey, like I need to select the car, I need to select the dealer and all those things, and then the final loan will be disbursed. The loan will be disbursed to dealers, first of all. Like these kind of loans will never be disbursed to you in your
Correct.
bank account. So
Correct.
like I need to have I need to have the details of the dealer. So that's why probably Paisabazaar or Known Bazaar did not enter into it. But yeah, of course, there are many D2C players as well who are doing this kind of stuff. It's like you can directly go to their website, get the loan approval, and then probably go to our dealers and select the car and then tell them, okay, I have this much loan approved, I want this car and all of those things. But this is not like major part of the journey. Most of the time happens like I select a car and then get the financing.
Got it. Got it. Got it. This makes much of a sense. And like, is Yellow exactly the first company in this space, like a B2B like this lightning speed finance of the B2B, or are there even other players in this market?
I think we are not the first company. I have been like into the ecosystem now for a bigger period of time, and like what I've seen is there are many manual players doing the similar kind of thing. So what happens is like this manual players tie up with the bank. They go and partner with a lot of dealers. Dealers send this to the manual players. Then manual players send it to the bank. Of course, it's like 2 or 3 days, whatever, that kind of thing. The time will take. Now there are other companies coming up like this. There's a company Rupee from Cardeco Group. So it's a subsidiary of Cardeco. They recently like infused $100 million into that company. So what they do is like most of the time like they have their own NBFC as well. They finance from their own book and of course are now also partnering with the other banks. They also go to the dealers and install this QR code. Now a person can scan that QR code and apply for loan. So
Got
these
it.
kind of products are not available, but we are going it via different route, and we are not going the customer route at all. We are giving this kind of assisted journey to the customer. Like he will be assisted by the dealer. He
Got it.
can't scan a QR code and then apply on his own for now.
If I like, what I can understand is, for example, I just go to say a Tata showroom and I book a car of say like something like 10 lakh rupees. Once everything is done, the salesperson of Tata will take my say like 5-10 details, including my PAN, my income levels, to assess that CIBIL and those minimum eligibility criteria. And
Yes.
then probably in say a couple of seconds or even a minute, my maximum eligibility limit and those information will be available on Yellow platform. And then from say I get 5 options, one from IDFC, PNB, HDFC, ICICI, and say something like that. And then I select that, and as soon as I do it, loan that amount will be disbursed from that bank to the dealer's account, and then the transaction settles. Right?
Yeah, in a nutshell,
Right?
you can say the simple journey looks like this. Of course, is very much complex at the back end. The disbursement does not happen at the same time because it happens when the invoice is being generated. But you get like the loan is approved and you can book the car. It's like you. So, for example, so when I was doing this survey and visiting this dealer, I got to know that I went to I think Hyundai dealer, and I was like, I want to buy a Creta, and a Creta is one of the most popular car in Hyundai. And he said like, the Creta is not available. It's waiting like 6-7 months. Okay, I said, but there is one model available. It's a single model that is in our inventory. Is over there. You can take it now. And then he told me like, okay, why this one is available? Is like I asked him, and he said like, so there was a person. He booked it like 6-7 months ago. We got the delivery of the car. Now we were making the delivery to the person. The loan got disapproved. So that was kind of that's why he was not able to buy that car because of course it's a 17-18 lakh car. If I am taking loan of 16-17 lakhs for particular that car, it like it's important for me. Like if loan goes disapproved, I will try to find some other financer and all. But we won't buy that car now. So that happens. Like it's lying over there. Like anyways, like it will get sold because of the waiting and all. But for that particular person, it's like it's a huge blow because he waited for 6-7 months with the something in mind that I will buy that car. I have bought that car and will probably get in 6-7 months. And now he got to know that the loan got disapproved.
Got it.
So that was kind of why like it should be assessed earlier. No? Like it's like why like if you are booking that car 6-7 months back, you should have got the approval at that point of time, not like after 6-7 months when you were getting the invoice and when the car was on the delivery.
Correct.
Why not at that point of time?
Exactly. That that's ridiculous to hear. In fact, like even if that happens, the kind of efficiencies that we are living in. Okay. So, okay,
Yeah.
like say, if I can just think of your Yellow as a business. So I guess you're one
Yeah.
of the important KPIs or something that you should leverage is kind of the number of dealers that you have on your platform, right? Because eventually it's a B2B business. So rather than the
Yes.
end customer, more number of sale points that you have kind of defines your success,
Yeah.
right? So
Exactly. Exactly.
like, don't you, okay, now in this whole financing part, I guess there are three parties. One is the banks, who's the financer. Second is this kind of not mid, but the showroom. And third is the final customer. So
Yes.
can you just tell me like how do the economics flow? Like because like in the traditional system, what I understand is that usually there might be some commissions that may be going from bank to these these showrooms, and then based on that, and eventually the loan flows. But when one more middleman is
Yeah.
coming in between, that is Yellow, increasing magnanimous efficiency. That's cool. But how do the economics flow? How do the commissions works?
Sure. Sure. So this is like kind of an interesting part of this business, and that is what got me excited into this. So let's talk like I will take some time to explain, because probably most of the people don't know. Like, so how the business works in this kind of loan is like, so there is a product called BNPL, kind of consumer financing and all, like this small consumer goods financing. So in BNPL, what we do is like we go to a merchant and say, sir, why don't you integrate with our platform? We will give short-term credit to your customers. Now, because of the short-term credit, what will happen is like, first of all, customer will purchase more and the basket size will increase. The number of like the conversions will increase. Like more and more people will buy that particular product because he or she will not need to be worried about like whether I will have that amount or not because he's getting that financing. And then what we do is like we go to the merchant and say, sir, I will like take uh, 4 to 5% of that particular sale with me, subvention amount from that particular merchant, and take that money from, and that's kind of an income for us. It's like, so whatever interest free period we are giving to that particular customer, let's say we are giving that customer like we will give you 2 months interest free period or like three installment in like one by three each month. Like there is a cost to us, like we are giving interest on a particular amount that we are financing to you, but we are not charging you. So what we are doing is like we are taking away it from merchant.
Correct.
So, and merchant is ready to give because he sees the kind of benefit that for number of like, suppose if I'm selling X amount of merchandise today, I will sell 2X amount of merchandise with this kind of product.
Makes sense.
So
Okay.
this is how the BNPL company like most of the time works. And like similar in the case of automobiles, if like if I am selling a car, let's say there is no financing available, the amount of sales of these particular cars will decrease like by 80%. That I'm very sure.
Right,
So
right, right.
because of car being financed, the car is being sold. Like similar for the automobile company as well. So there should be like, I was expecting like this kind of automobile companies like whatever dealer should give some amount to the banks as well. And like this is because their car is being sold. But it's totally different. What is happening is like banks are giving commission to the dealers. It's like it was very much counterintuitive. Like why the banks are giving like anyways the car is getting sold because of being financed, and even at that point of time banks are giving commission to these dealers. And then like that kind of made me intrigued, and I went when I went deep into it, like I realized like this is a huge market, and this is like this is how most of the banks do, and then that commission can range from 0.5% to like 3 4%, and this is how the big
Got
commission
it.
is. And
This is altogether this is altogether a very, very different. Like I never gave a thought it in this direction. Like, yeah, but now you say it, it makes so much of a sense. Yeah, it's just like enlightening. Okay, got it, got it, got
yeah.
it. Makes so much sense.
So making money is like what you do is like, so you are acting as a marketing partner for bank, and it's like what you are doing is like you are getting deals for the bank. Now, like it depends on how much volume you can get from bank for bank particular. And like if I am able to get 1,000 CR of disbursement for that particular bank in a year, like that bank will readily give me 3 to 4%, kind of low 3 to 4% of that particular loan amount. What we will do is like we will share 2% with the dealer, like whatever like the engagement with the dealer is, and we will the remaining spread is for us. That kind of thing. So what basically we are doing is like we are aggregating the demand. Currently, what banks need to do? The banks need to have a man force, put like a feet on the street people who go to these dealers and say like why like finance like whenever a customer asks for financing, just tell the HDFC Bank loan, HDFC Bank loan, ICICI Bank loan, this kind of thing. Well, now I am taking away this manpower. Like you don't need to send all of these people to these street, to these dealers. It's like we are a platform. We already have like 1,000+ dealers. You just integrate with us directly, and we will give you access to all of those dealers, and
Got
we will get the volume for you.
it.
So
Got
that kind of will increase that particular commission. It's like how much is it's all game of volume. It's like the more volume you get for bank or like lending partner, the more commission you get.
it.
So
Got
this
it.
is the game. It's like we are this infrastructure, we are this simple SaaS tool across every dealer. We are aggregating those dealers and then taking a huge volume to those banks, and then in return getting a spread out of it.
Makes sense. Perfectly makes sense. So that was a very interesting and enlightening point of view, Paras. Okay. So now, yeah, like getting on a little bit of the side note. I know like this wasn't what Yellow was started with, right? So it was altogether a different thing. The budget, the beginning was different, and then there was a storm, and then you're sailing altogether different boat now. So why don't you tell us something about like how did it started? What was the product? How did it messed up, and how did you sailed out?
Yeah, like so we have been onto a roller coaster journey, since we started Yellow. And I think it's similar for every startup. It's like if you are starting any business, not even startup, if you're starting any business, kind of a roller coaster journey. Whatever you think first is like that I will make something this kind of big. Probably will or will not happen. This is how the like it's not like if you are starting something, it will be successful. It's a hit into the market. Like of course market will give you its own feedback, its own problems, or like sometimes even like some radical decisions, and you have to shift the direction of the boat, or no, it change the boat even altogether. That is how the things work. And it's like so we started Yellow like with a different thing altogether. Like I was talking about the BNP, we started with BNP, and so what we want to do is like we want to give the access to the people of India to the short-term trade, like in a very efficient manner. It's like no credit card required. Like we want to drive the credit card system out of the market altogether. Like, you don't need to get a credit card. We will give you like instant financing at the point of sale of that particular what I can say. Like suppose if I'm buying something from any of the D2C brand like Mama, Toad, whatever, I can get it just normal financing. Like over like I can get it for like whatever, like 3 months, 6 months spread, I can pay without any interest. And if I am like doing buying any like doing any shopping on restaurants or like whatever shops, I can scan the QR code and again then get that kind of financing. So we went directly into that particular niche. Like, of course, the business model was very similar. Like I told, like I will charge from the merchant on the fact that I am increasing your sales and all of those things, whatever. And this is like so again, why BNP and why this kind of credit? So like I was in US and I was almost 2 years, and then that I realized like credit in US is like very fast and efficient. Like you can get a credit card like with just a normal number in like just 2 minutes, and it's like and they will give you a very high limit without
Right.
anything, and that's very easily accessible. And most of the US whatever I can say is like work on credit only, and it's like this is how the things work. It's like everyone is buying things on the credit card. No one uses debit card at all. No one
Right.
pay instantly for anything. It's like they will always use credit card. And then this is how the things work. It's like even there the BNPL companies was coming up. Now if
Hmm.
we talk about India, it's like India is a credit deprived market, does not have too many credit cards currently. So why not just take this huge storm that is like coming across the world of BNP and enter into the India directly, who is eating away the credit card business. We have the advantage that India does not even have a credit card system currently. It's like it's very nascent, and like not more, many people have credit cards. And so let's enter into DNPL. Let's make this easy credit available at the particular D2C brands, shops, and all of those things, and increase the sales for them. So that is how it started. So of course, like again, you are into a chicken and egg problem. Like customers need to have merchants want customers, or financing partners, all of those things. It's like you start slowly. Like so, we went ahead with the approach that we will go to the customer first. We'll give them the option that it is available across different merchants, and probably once we have the customers, we will go to the merchants and ask them to increase their commission. So this is how we started, and we were very confident about it because of like such a huge market. India is like 140 CR people or whatever, all those things. Lot of very less credit penetration. And when we are going ahead with it, then suddenly, like sometime, like we just launched the product, like I got 30K customers in like couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, that kind of thing. And then there was an RBI notification, and it's like that kind of made it life difficult for all of these BNPL companies. And like whatever we were using, like the instrument that we were using, not going deep into the technical of it, but that was kind of our business model was kind of banned by RBI. Like this won't work. And that was kind of like we were thinking like what we should do. Like we tried to navigate for like 1 or 2 months across all of the notifications, regulations that we had and realized like this is a like sinking boat now. Like we should get out of it and figure out something else. So that is how like we decided like okay, BNPL is okay. Like of course that was one part of it. Like while we were doing BNPL, there was a lot of other problems as well. Like how do you do underwriting? How do you do collections? Like all of those things, rising interest rate environment because that is directly affecting you. Right? Like if I am a institution in US getting money for 0%, I can lend it like very easily for a small commission to the merchant. If that like interest rate increase from 0 to 4% in like in a year, that kind of push me hard that I need to like underwrite more creditworthy people who will pay back the money. I need to charge more commission from the merchant. This kind of thing, of course. So kind of there were a lot of different problems. Of course, some regulatory problems and then some macro problems coming from the economics, like global economy altogether. So we decided like probably BNP is something that will be there into the future, but is this something that we want to do like that we have to do now? Is like we realize no. I think we should like probably this can be done later as well. And then we decided like okay, let's try something else. And then we started figuring out, but like of course we tried a couple of things before that, like before this auto financing thing that we are doing. And then we like just 2 or 3 months back, we realized like okay, this is a huge opportunity. But no problems like underwriting collection already a very huge market. Let's go into it and then let's just try make uh, something big out of it.
Got it, got it, got it. That makes sense. Okay, so like one very interesting thing. Got it, got it. That makes sense. Okay, so like one very interesting thing that you said was that got my attention, that as soon as you started that BNPL business, you kind of got 30 to 40,000 customers within a relatively short span, right? So like
Yeah.
even for new age startups who probably have a really good product, getting initial traction is still one of the most difficult things, right? So any advice you like to give, like how to crack that?
Like so see, I think if you're launching, so that is like particular to any business. Like if you're asking money from the customer, it will be very difficult to acquire customers. What we were doing is like we were giving money to the customer. Every customer was looking like okay, who does not need money? It's kind of, if you are selling a credit product,
Hmm.
you don't need to market it. Customers will come on your own, and there are a lot of people waiting to get money.
Okay, but like
Like
to the extent what I understand, like for example, if you take a lazy pay, right? Lazy pay, like I
yes,
personally believe Swiggy is one of the most important factor why lazy pay is so successful, right? Plus, money is specifically something which requires a lot of trust, irrespective where
yeah.
you have to give or you have to take, because there are a number of credit card scams on everything that happens, right? So first, like how do you win that trust? One of the obvious ways is to give cash backs, and yeah, that's very effective. So, but that's the first thing. And second is like if you want to burn cash, right? Like yeah, so like is burning cash necessary to get into this fintech business or lending business?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Like if you are burning cash on the marketing in fintech,
Hmm.
especially in lending, then probably you
Hmm.
are not a right student. You don't
Oh,
need to burn cash for
okay.
lending. And like you are giving money to the people. Like everyone wants money. Like suppose if someone comes to you and say like I will give you 1 lakh rupees, you pay me after a year. Will you ask him like who are you? Why you are giving me? Like okay, let's just I will get the money. Probably will see after a year ki like वापस भी देना है क्या नहीं है ना? That will happen. And no
Got
one
it.
is going to ask you if you are giving money.
Hmm.
दे
Okay.
दो कोई बात नहीं. Like of course, like if someone is giving money 1 CR to me, I will just take it and we'll see. Like बाद में जानेंगे कि कौन आदमी है भाई, मुझे नहीं पता. I will just take 1 CR and we'll see. That is how the things work. And it's like everyone is ready to take money. And
So got it. Got it.
yeah,
Got it.
so just to give you a context, what happening is like we spend zero marketing dollars, है ना? We launched the product on a single, like on first day in the night we checked like there were numerous YouTube videos about us from different like like finance influencers who are saying like okay, Yellow is giving free money, Yellow is giving free money and all those
Got
things,
it.
you know?
Got it.
So
Got it.
that is
Got it.
how I think it is spent. Like so it was kind of, if you are giving money, like just try to launch a BNPL app, you will see like a lot of people coming flocking to you to take money. And this is how credit deprived Indian market is.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Makes sense. In fact, I just saw those kind of videos to research about Yellow, and yeah, I completely understand this. Perfectly makes sense. Okay, so like yeah, so now like if we get back into the past, so you have developed this whole BNPL thing, then you somehow realize that this will not work because of a number of things, and you eventually pivoted, right? And
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong, you were already a funded startup for the first, like for the BNPL idea. So my
Yes.
first
Yes.
question, how did you like, were investors easy to convince? Second, if no, what hacks did you try? Third, like, were there any repercussions of pivoting after taking investment for a altogether a different idea?
Yeah, that's kind of a
Yeah,
that's kind of a as I said, it's a roller coaster journey. Like now you don't have a single investor, like you have multiple investors. Every investor has their own thinking mindset, whatever. And so not every investor will take you like so investor funded on the fact that you are doing BNPL, you are a good team and all those things, at that point of time because it's a very pre-seed kind of serious kind of stage. So and of course, some investors are with you, like you will make it sometime big, let's go, whatever, like let's figure out and all those things. Some investors are like it will take like 5, 6, 7, 8 months. No, don't know. Like, so what is happening is like you are pivoting, and you are entering into the different industry, or probably you don't even know what industry you are entering currently. Right? You are like you will be like startup is not something like if you decide to pivot and on the next night you have something and you say like okay, I will do this. This is not going to happen. You
right.
have to just first of all explore what you will do, and it's not like a single or 2 or 3 days, it will take months. Then after thinking like okay, you want to enter into this industry, you need to explore that industry. You need to realize like whether there are some problems or not, how the industry economics work, how does the industry work, how does the people work. And like it's not easy to get like second business altogether like on the day that I decide that I will pivot, or like I don't, my current model is like not possible anymore, so let's do something else. And then that's kind of a huge gestation period, if I say. And it's like it can range from like probably 3 months to like even couple of years figuring out something like what I need to do. And people spend their 10 years like into the job figuring out okay, this is working, this is not working, this is working, this is not working. So but we were there. So of course, some of the investors were very supportive that okay, you do whatever you do, you take your time, it's fine. Just cut out some burn, and that happened. Like we had a 20 people team when we were doing CNPL, we reduced it to like 4 or 5 core people. So of course, like you can't have all of the people sailing on the boat now when you don't have something, you don't know
Right,
what is happening. You need to
right,
lead
right.
those people so that they can also figure out something else in their life, because we are not able to support to them. Of course, that was a hard period for like me as well, like asking some people to leave because some things are not working out and all of those things. So this is what I learned. And this is how we are seeing now a lot of layoffs. Like we lay out of like we started like we like 70% or 80% of the team being laid off because of some other things in this startup. But at that point of time, it was a more like what I can say regulatory environment that forces to do that. So of course, that was a like we reduce our burn because you can't keep burning if you don't know what you are going
Got
to
it.
do. And
Got
of
it.
course, there were some investors who were saying like, why don't you just give the money back for now? And probably whenever you have something next, you come back to us and we will like again discuss whether to fund that or not. And of course, then it was kind of how do you like what you want to do is kind of then I took the call that of course I don't think we are going to return this money back for now. Of course, there were other things like the probably funding environment was not that good. Like if you start raising now as compared to we raised at that point of time, it was very kind of we did not raise at the point like it was very easily available 2021. We raised at the point as it was like okay, it's like if you can raise. Now the period that we were shutting down or like if we had to shut down was that you will not get fund at all. And even if you get it, you get it at very less solution. So we decided, okay, the current funding environment does not allow us to give this money back. Of course, like even giving money back is not a small process. It takes 6 to 7 months,
Got
and
it.
then that kind of thing. Like why like waste 6 to 7 months in like closing the company? I will probably waste 6 to 7 months in figuring invest not waste invest 6 to 7 months in
Got it. Got
figuring
it.
out something next. And
Makes
we'll
sense.
see like if we are into this, and like I am ready to like devote my like the team whatever team we have left is ready to devote their full time, and we will figure out something and we'll make something big.
Got it. Got it. Got it. That
So
perfectly makes
of course, lot
sense.
of discussions to and fro, and then we ended up like, okay, we will keep going on, and we will not die for now.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so like Paras, so like you personally know me, right? So I have been into investment banking and now I am into consulting. So I'm a CA, of course. So I have a particular lust for numbers, So
Yeah.
I want to ask your point of view, like in this auto sales market itself, how big you think is Indian market, and like at a peak, say 5 years down your product market fit, how does Yellow looks? How big it can be?
Yeah. So of course, first of all, like see, like before answering your question, like why, like even like I select an idea, na, like why this auto industry, and I'm kind of see, I have this kind of thing. Is like if I want to make something, I will make it big, and of course I can like start something a small D2C brand and make some amount of CR. I'm not into that. I want to make $1 billion. Like to be honest, like nothing below billions is like acceptable. And for
God.
that, first thing that is for required is like you need to have a very very big market. Like if you don't even have a big market, you are not going to make that kind of money. Of course, many of my friends are doing very small businesses, like making like a shit ton, like 4 or 5x that I am currently making. Like of course, I am not making anything because I'm in a startup, but so they are making that kind of money, but they are never going to reach billions or all of those things. They will like be in CRs. I don't want to stay in CR. I need to go into the billions. That's my story. So now talking about the auto industry, like so like just asking you some random questions and like how big you expect is like the two-wheelers and four-wheeler sales in India per year.
Oh, so like if you approach this as a guesstimate, right? I think what um for the two-wheelers market, if you talk about age wise, I guess from 50, like assuming even the scooters and everything, so people of 50 to 15 to age of 60 will be driving it, and eventually that is at least 60 to 70% of our population, that is close to 100 crores, right? So, and even if you assume like 10% of those people can afford it, again, what we get a number of 10 crores, and usually, yeah, like so on a male to female basis, like 5 crores each, so like 4 crores here and 2 crores there, so like yeah, six kind of altogether market is of 6 crores, and yeah, 6 crore units, that's
Let's
basically right.
let's not go very deep into this guesstimate, and it will take a lot of time. I am
Correct,
new in
correct,
this
correct,
like
correct, correct. So you better not
and
ask a consultant about these questions. We just
yeah,
get into that
uh,
zone.
uh, I can understand that. So I've been asked many guesstimates, but anyway, so just going to the numbers, like approximately. So, it's a $50 billion like what I can say, four-wheelers and $50 billion two-wheelers market. New,
Five
I am speaking
zero
about the new sales.
50
Yeah, 50,
50.
$50 billion. So,
Crazy. So
like,
like 50 for four-wheelers and 50 for two-wheelers, 100 billion.
yeah, $100 billion. And there is a separate market altogether, like resale car market. The resale car market is like expected to be 2x of the normal car market. So it's approximately $100 billion more. Let's leave the resale car market for now. Let's talk about just the new car sales or new two-wheelers. It's like $100 billion market. Like
Okay.
how much of this is being financed? Like more than 90% of the two-wheelers and
Easily.
four-wheeler stores are being financed. So
Easily.
I'm talking about $100 billion market and $100 billion sales every year. Let's say if I become big and just capture 20% of the market, that's kind of $20 billion of loans flowing to me. If twenty
Correct.
billion dollars of loans are flowing to me and I get just 1% of that $20 billion, that's approximately $200 million revenue
Correct.
for me. And then I am a sales tool. I will not have that kind of expenses.
Of course,
So
of course,
once
of
the
course.
dealer is onboarded, the dealer will stay with me. My product is for creating value for him or her. Hai.
Your,
So
your,
kind of
your,
it's a
your minimum multiple has to be more than 10, 15 of your revenue. So yeah, I get
like
it.
at
200
least
million revenue is crazy.
$200 million revenue. You see, it's like it's just kind of create that kind of thing. Like okay, yeah, I'm going to be rich.
Of
If it's
course, man.
enough to be battled, let's go into it. Let's target even just if we get 20%. Like of course, the target is like if we can cover 70 to 80%, then we are good. We want to be the biggest and the one largest player onto it. And this is how the business is. But let's say even if we cover 20%, we have the enough market for it. And that's kind of intuition, like what I can say. That's keep my like Mount Lincoln. Yeah, chalo, chalo, chalo. Let's capture this kind of market. Huge money to be made. So talking about numbers is a huge market, and that is why we are trying to get into it and make something out of it.
Got it,
And there are
got it.
not many players still into this fintech auto market. What I say, auto fintech,
Got it. Makes
auto
sense.
opportunities.
Perfect. This perfectly makes sense. Okay, so Paras, I guess I have a decent idea like how Yellow works and like how the metrics have and will work out in future. But like I think Now it's time to little bit, explore the man of the hour. So, dude, like you have been like you have graduated from IIT Delhi. Then, as if that wasn't already a big thing, you were a 9-pointer silver medalist. Then you went to Stanford for PhD. You dropped out. Like that's how a conventional startup founder's profile should look like, undoubtedly. So, like, what's the secret sauce? Like, if like it's just a continuous habit of winning, right? Starting from your childhood, man. Like, I'm not just saying that getting into IIT or Stanford is a benchmark of success, but again, it's one of the things that very limited people get to do, right? So, yeah, can you tell me like what's that single thing probably that has kept you motivated, that has given you a hack or something on those lines?
I think the secret sauce of winning is like my aspirations, to be honest. Like it's like I always aspire for something big. So that kind of thing. But like I do see many failures. It's like people just see like ideally silver medalist. In reality, I in 11th, like when I was in 11th, I gave KVPY, and that's kind of every person gave, like every science student gave, and that's a stepping stone. And it's like it's very easy as compared to IIT. I failed, like I did not even get selected in 11th standard KVPY. And then, but
Okay.
that did not stop me. Like I can't do IIT. I was
Hmm.
like, okay, I got selected in 12th, then IIT, and all of those things. And then let's talk about Stanford. Stanford is not something like I aspired that I got it. So I aspired like so. I aspired for Stanford when I was in 8th standard, and at that point of time, I used to aspire. I want to go to Stanford. I don't know why Stanford, particularly not MIT or Harvard, but it's just I want to go to Stanford. That was my aspiration, like when I was in 8th standard. Of course, my family background did not allow that I go to Stanford for my undergrad. When I went into IIT, in second year, I also tried to get internship at Stanford. I failed miserably. No reply from any of the professors. And it's
Okay.
not like so. I thought like, okay, I can't get into Stanford. It's very difficult. Third year, I again tried. And so the story even getting into just internship at Stanford is very like kind of thing is like I mailed to my professor, like to one of the professors at Stanford. He did not reply. I got agitated. I kind of say like, okay, I am waiting for your reply. I mailed him that kind of thing within like just 2 days. He got me reply, setting up a call, and then it just suddenly happened. It's like first mail, like second year, I made like 100 people, like not just across Stanford but many institutes. Got reply from just 4 or 5, and like nothing happened. It's like whoever called me, I like okay, I like that kind of thing. I just get like okay, let's try some time later, and then I got something else, so did that thing. Third year, it's just first mail, not any like just okay, let's try Stanford first. This professor, and he did not reply again. Send him like okay, I am waiting for reply. Got a reply, got the internship, and it's boom. Right? So it's like I do see a lot of failures, and I have seen many failures or like these kind of things in life, but the aspirations never go. It's like it's always like let's keep aspiring. And even I talk about silver medalists. I still remember it was like I entered into IIT, my first minor one. I got 7 out of 20 in maths, like in one of the math subjects. Like it was
Okay.
like tough.
Got
Like
it.
7 out of 20 in my first minor exam. There was one more subject, engineering drawing. I am particularly bad at it, first of all, this drawing and all. And it's like I got like what I can say, like 25%, of like that kind of thing. I don't remember the exact marks. It was like just 25% minor one, and it was like now it was like you can say like okay, I'm not good at study or more people are better at it and all those things. I did not stop there, and I was like I realized like okay, what is the missing sauce? Like why 7 out of 20? Like why not 20 out of 20? Then minor two, it was like 19 out of 20. And then I realized like okay, I am now learned how to score. Like I have now learned how to do the problems. I have now learned how to make professor. I have now learned like how to build business. Probably learning now build businesses, but the thing is like aspirations will never go. I have seen many like and all the people coming at IIT is like all are super exceptional students. They know how to crack things. So just what makes the difference is like the aspiration. Some people just lose that aspiration. Okay, I have achieved IIT. I don't want to do anything more. I will get a job and done. And I don't need to score now. I have done whatever I need to do. Mine is like, okay, I will be best at whatever I do. And I need to just aim for big. I will always aim for big, and that will happen. I still have a lot of, I mentioned, I still have a lot of friends that are just happy making like whatever, like 50 lakhs, 2 CR in jobs. They don't want to do business at all. for me, it's not like I can also get like 200, 300K at any job, and I want, and but it's not that difficult. It's like, do I want to do that now, or do I want to keep my expectations high and just aim for big? Okay, let's try to get billions, and like by age of 27, 28. If we got it, is good. Otherwise, job is always there. Like, of course, I will keep learning, and that's why I never stop. Okay, one failure at Yellow, BNPL, then something else. Then like I will never stop. Even if this fails, let's hope it does not. I will never stop. And that's kind of I will try my best, keep doing it, whatever it is. So it's not like it's my secret sauce is aspiration. And I think if someone aspires ना, and if try, वो होता है ना like वो उससे मैंने कि आप दिल से कुछ चीजें को जाओ तो पूरी कायनात उसको मिलाने में लग जाती है, and that kind of thing happens with me है ना. It's like अगर मैं दिल से चाहूँ और चाहता रहता हूँ तो कुछ ना कुछ तो हो जाता है ना, that kind of thing.
Got it. So it's just like be ambitious and then direct your efforts towards that ambition. In fact, I somewhere heard that ambitious and a lazy, like ambitiously lazy person is one of the most, dissatisfied person because they want to achieve so much, but eventually they end up doing nothing. So yeah, I get it. I perfectly get it. So it's just like aim for the that a very cliched kind of a quote, right? Aim for the star, you'll at least land the moon. In your case, you landed at the star itself. So that's a different thing. But yeah, cool. I get it. That perfectly makes sense.
That's not the star. I think there are many other stars in the thing. Just like it's gone now. Like it does not matter anymore. Whatever you do, it's like you need to see for the future. The future is like there is no end to anything, and that is how the human society is being driven. And what drives the human society is like just achieving more. People are never satisfied, and that's how the
Always
most of the
hungry.
human work. And so that is how what is driving the human. Otherwise, we will be like monkey,
Yeah.
uh,
Right, right,
doing this
right.
and that, and similar thing all day. But it is not
Right.
a thing. बल्ब बन गया तो बल्ब के बाद कुछ एलईडी बनाते हैं, एलईडी के बाद कुछ और बनाते हैं ना. This is how the things keep going on.
Dude, like, if you don't mind, what's your age?
I am 25, getting old.
And I'm not sure I'll be this wise even when I'm 52. It's so much to learn from you. Okay, so like, I guess your first job was in Bain company after graduation, right? So Bain, like management consulting, like for someone
Yeah.
who doesn't know, there are these three things: McKinsey, Bain, BCG. Uh, Paras' first job after graduation was Bain. They like it's one of the most reputed organization for management consulting, and management consulting is about kind of problem solving. At least that's what's been pitched, and that should be believed. So, like I think after that job you went to Stanford, right? So was it like kind of already planned, or is it like कि यार नौकरी नहीं होगी and I don't like it, मजा नहीं आ रहा, तो like what how
No,
it was?
no. You can say so semi-planned thing. So that's kind of an interesting story, and kind of so when I was at IIT Delhi last
Hmm.
year. So I went for internship at Stanford, and the professor was very happy with whatever work I did over there. And he was said like, why don't you do PhD? I was never into PhD, never, never. I don't want to become a professor, whatever. Like I will never do PhD. Can't invest like 5, 6 years of my life on a PhD. So I told you like at the eighth standard, I wanted to be like kind of going to Stanford. When I was like 10 years old, I wanted to be like in business, becoming like kind of creating this. I used to say Paras group of companies. So like it's a old age dream that I won't going to get कि भाई ठीक है छोड़ दो, let's go to Stanford and do PhD. So coming back, uh, so yeah, I did my internship, got like professor like why don't you apply for PhD or masters or whatever. So I went for so even like I was not applying for PhD, I was applying for masters. So let's apply for masters. So but I got a bad score in GRE. Like somehow things happen. Bad score in GRE. And at that point, my mentality was kind of getting into masters is difficult as compared to into PhD. And I thought like I thought I used to think like that, like masters is difficult, so let's apply for PhD now. And that is how the things change. Like last minute that I am applying for PhD, not masters now, because probably with bad GRE, so I will get into a PhD. And fortunately, I got like I just applied for Stanford. No one like no other institute, just for one program. है ना. And that's why like I did not prepare that much for GREs. Like होगा होगा नहीं होगा भाड़ में है किसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है. That was thing. Anyways, I don't want to do a PhD or a master's at Stanford. So I ended up applying for masters. Got it. Like sorry, I ended up applying for PhD. Got results in February. So February of next year. So I got acceptance of a PhD. And I at that point of time, what was it? getting into PhD is like far difficult than getting into masters. It's like, because masters, like there are 400 people, they charge
Right.
money from you, people pay
Correct.
for doing masters, while in PhD they pay you, and they are
Got
like just limited 20-30 people, like, so from India, like probably 3 or 4 people are only, that kind of thing. Okay. Whatever happens for the good, that kind of thing. Luck is with me that point of time. So,
great.
but before that, like there is a placement season as well, like people start preparing for jobs and companies are coming up. Anyways, I know कि मेरे को job तो नहीं करनी for a long time, but let's just sit now. Like, so one more thing that keeps me driving is like whenever there is an opportunity, I just don't get it go. Let's just take it, let's try, whatever. Like even if I don't want that thing into my journey, let's try it. There is no harm in applying or like doing something for it. And I do have enough time that I can take out of it, of my schedule for achieving that thing. So I did not used to know about the consulting companies at all even. The consulting companies out here. Like a lot of my friends were applying for this consulting company, very fancy life होती है, फलाना होती है. So मैं भी try कर लेता हूँ ना. So my profile was like whatever company can apply, I can apply to, because I was like department rank one, was like doing politics and all of those things. So it's like I can apply to any company and get at least shortlist. शॉर्टलिस्ट आ जाएगी. वहां पे इंटरव्यू में टेस्ट में क्या होगा वो अलग बात है, दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. So I did like quant companies, tech companies, consulting. I got like shortlist in all of things. Now people were applying, like people prepare for this consulting companies like 2 or 3, like start preparing like 2 or 3 years back, तो like मेरे को पता भी नहीं था like कि consulting होती भी है. मैंने तो ऐसे अप्लाई कर दिया रैंडम, and then there are this buddy session हो रहे थे, and I was like, ये guesstimate होता क्या है? And you were like, we were doing this, and I was like, होता क्या है भाई? And like just 1 month before the interview, I don't even know what the hell guesstimate is. Like, so in one of the buddy sessions, I'm gonna ask you like, how many sales do you have this kind of thing? Probably this might be. No, like do some work.
I
बहुत time
know.
करो उसमें, ना?
I know this is a blunder. I can
मैंने
feel
चलो
it.
ठीक है.
Right,
So
right, right.
I was not at all anticipating कि भाई मेरा बेन में होगा, because I never did any buddy session and all of those things. Buddy session तो मैंने बिल्कुल ही, मतलब ऐसा होता है ना कि खराब कर दिए थे. Buddy तो will never recommend me. And then I
Okay.
got to know कि buddy जो थे ना मेरे, like when I was giving the interview, buddy was saying इसको मत लो. That was like the feedback from the buddy at that point of time. But partners did accept कि भाई इसको तो लेना ही है ना, that kind of thing. And like it was my second interview. First interview was like with a quant company. That was also like I was accepted. He was like, "Aajao, kar lo," है ना? So that was my profile, and that even I did not prepare even for that interview. But anyways, I got through all of this. So I ended up with consulting try करते हैं ना. Quant तो मुझे आते ही है, all trading. I am trading when I was like 10 years old. So let's do something. Let's keep this option open. If I want to go, I will go. That kind of thing. I accepted that thing. So I had both offers. Stanford से था PhD का, मतलब then Stanford offer भी आ गया था. So I had both offers, Stanford PhD, Bain, both were good. Like, so my aim is to do a startup. If you ended up into consulting, you will of course learn a lot of things, make industry connections and all. And so it's not a bad thing. If you end up into Stanford, you will have what I can say. It's a Mika of startup. There is no, or like it's a heart of Silicon Valley. Like this is, you need to be there, if you want to be a
Right,
startup.
right,
तो
right.
बेन ज्वाइनिंग वो कर लिया, मैंने बेन ज्वाइन कर लिया. डिसाइड किया कि चलो 1-2 महीने काम करेंगे, देखेंगे. इफ आई वांट टू गो, विल गो टू दी स्टैनफोर्ड. तो बेन ज्वाइन किया, then got a deferment for a quarter at Stanford. Work at Bain for 5 months. It was a great experience. Of course, learned a lot of things, lot of short projects. I did like people like keep engaged in a single project. I did a lot of. Fortunately, I got the opportunity to do work like in a very short term, like fast paced one month project. So I did like couple of like into the CPG, IT, branding, whatever. Like I did tried a lot of things at Bain. Fortunately, I got that exposure. It was a great experience, but I realized okay, Bain is done. Now let's go to this Stanford. We will like do something over there now. Like I need to be in the community where people are thinking always about startups, and I think that was one of the my. I never regret it. I went to Stanford. It's like it's a place to be in. Like all of the people always are talking about these kind of new ventures, and I'm like this is how people discuss over there. Right? I was in a group project. 4 people we were there in a group project. He was doing their own startup. So this is how the things work
Got
at
it.
Stanford. It's like
I get the vibe.
uh,
And Paras, like I'm not sure, but like there is a kind of a pattern that I could observe. So, like for example, you have, of course, you have achieved great things, right? And probably because you were high on aspirations. But somehow, as soon as you realize that it's not meant to align with your final goal, you didn't hesitated to take a step back, like be it was a good job, be it was a PhD from Stanford, and many things, right? So I think that's a very, very courageous thing. And like for example, if I'm at your position and I have to withdraw my step, so that would be a very risky thing, right? So what do you suggest? Like, how should one evaluate if they should take this kind of a leap of faith or not?
I think this is like it's a very good question. So I did agree. Like I did try a lot of things. I'm not a normal person. Like not many people do that kind of thing. I'm trying for different kind of things. And I got the opportunity of like even like not all people get the opportunity, but I got the opportunity to try different things. And I took some radical decisions. And I'm very very fast. Okay, let's go here. Let's do here. Let's follow those. And like the one thing that was like I'm never afraid. It's like for me, it's like life never ends at one point of time. I can always restart. And of course, this kind of is a graph. You understand? Like there will be ups and downs. You need to accept that. It's like a stock. If we are going up, there will be downs as well. Probably it will be a wrong decision. And you never know. Right? Probably you can take the wrong decision. But what I always do is like, will I ever regret taking this decision into my future? Like this was the call. Like probably I will never regret the decision. Like let's say if I'm taking a decision कि अगर मैंने आज ये नहीं किया कि मैं 2-10 साल बाद रिग्रेट करूंगा इस डिसीजन को मैंने कि भाई मैंने यार ये करना चाहिए था ट्राई तो करना चाहिए था ना दिस इज हाउ
Right.
आई टेक डिसीजन सो व्हेन आई थिंक कि ट्राई तो करना है ना इवन इफ इट डज नॉट वर्क आउट विल बी एक्सपीरियंस फॉर मी क्या ट्राई तो कर लिया ना ठीक है कोई बात नहीं चला कोई बात नहीं होता है आई एम नॉट द ओनली वन देयर आर लाइक 100 पीपल जिनको ट्राई करने का मौका भी नहीं मिलता एटलीस्ट आई एम गेटिंग टू ट्राई इवन इफ आई फेल इट्स ओके है ना आई विल लाइक आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ लर्निंग है ना so this is how I take decision. It's like whenever I think, will I regret this decision after like 10 to 20 years down into my life? If
Got
yes,
it.
so I will of course take the decision कि मेरे को regret तो नहीं करना है. I don't want to live life with regret. When I am like 46 years of my age, at that point of time, money does not matter because you will have of course enough money that you will have a good house or whatever. Yeah, at that point of time, only things that will come into your mind, yeah, yes, future. Like you will of course have past, like because you have 60 years of past, and you will keep remembering that. Will discuss with your friends, यार कभी ये moment से कभी ये, then things will come up, and you don't want to regret at that point of time. यार ये करना चाहिए था, यार ये लस्सी मैंने अपॉर्चुनिटी छोड़ दी सॉरी मतलब अगर
Got it.
शायद कर लेता तो आज मैं $1 billion बिजनेस में होता है स्टैनफोर्ड में प्रोफेसर होता है कुछ होता है ना सो दिस इज हाउ आई टेक डिसीजन
Got it. Okay, so like there is this very like this is kind of a old age, not old age, but yeah, I've heard it in VC firms as well, and eventually it was talked in some, even it was said in Shark Tank that IT and IIMs वालों को ना यार funding तो दे दो, but ये maybe they might not be very serious because इनकी जेब में हमेशा 1 करोड़ की नौकरी पड़ी रहती है, right? So my first question. So, do you think that because of course you also had that safety net, so that was one of the things that kind of helped you to take these risky decisions? So yeah, so that's the one thing. And second, is it? I know it's true that it happens, but it how easy it is to get back to square one? Like for example, you left Bain, you went to Yellow, maybe you decided कि यार अभी BNPL नहीं चल रहा, अभी अभी रखते हैं, अभी अभी पैसे भी चलो आपने वापस कर दिए, अभी हम ऑटो फाइनेंस की तरफ नहीं जा रहे, अभी मैं कुछ और कुछ करता हूँ, एंड देन इवेंचुअली शायद मैं 1 साल बाद कुछ करूंगा. तो डू यू थिंक you had a exit route, you had a backup, मतलब how would I play?
I yeah I think of course I think like of course if you have a backup right like it's kind of you like let's say of course if I at this stage I do have safety net and I did not to don't need to worry about a 10 12 or 20 lakh rupees job probably I will not get a 1 CR job because of such kind of experience because it's kind of is a luck as well at that day probably but I will get like at least 15 20 lakhs even if I don't get it I know कि कुछ तो business start करके चाय वाय भी बेच लूंगा तो बन जाएंगे है ना इतना तो कमा लूंगा इतना कैलिबर आ गया लाइफ में
Oh, okay.
so of course, if you get to kind of stage where you have IIT and Stanford and IIT in your resume, of course you have a safety net and just keep you floating. Yeah, okay, let's try. Na? Even if we fail, we will land like as you told, like shoot for the stars. Even if we like land on the moon, it's fine. Like, we of course that is one thing that always there, but I personally don't think that much. Na? Like if I take that decision, I don't think backward. And I don't see a lot of history. Yeah, ये हुआ था ये हुआ था. Like I always think यार ये भी तो किया था ना like we were
Right.
successful so the time for this
सही
as
बात.
well it
Right.
can take larger time it can take short period of time है ना but there is a lot of time, and it's like it's a 60, 70 years or like probably 100 years of time. मेरी जीवन देखो तो वैसे ही लंबी है. I don't know how much I will live.
Okay.
है ना. So let's just take risk, है ना. ठीक है, देखा जाएगा कौन सा. अगर आ भी गए स्क्वायर वन पे, क्या 5-6 ईयर 5-6, अगर आईआईटी में तो कितना 2 साल प्रिपेयर किया था, कोई बात नहीं, 2 साल फिर से प्रिपेयर कर लेंगे और क्या होगा. वी विल लाइक अगेन बी एट आईआईटी स्टूडेंट. वहां से ठीक है, फिर से नई लाइफ स्टार्ट कर लेंगे. इट्स लाइक लाइफ इज नेवर एंडिंग, है ना. इट्स लाइक 5-6 मंथ्स में तो आप यू कैन डू एनी लाइक वो होता है ना, लाइक यू आर फॉलोइंग एनी शेड्यूल, है ना. लाइक इफ यू वांट टू चेंज योर शेड्यूल, जस्ट डू समथिंग फॉर लाइक रेडी करिए कि भाई मैं 10 दिन तक ये पक्का करूंगा, कुछ भी हो जाए. And that should, like you will adapt to that particular thing, है ना. Like
Got it.
similar, like if I today I say कि भाई मुझे ये नहीं करना है startup, I want to work at a quant company and like 2 CR as my friends are earning. It will take probably 4-5 months. I will go deep into that quant, will do something, build systems, and probably like of course like I will get into it, है ना. That is like मतलब I believe at least that much into me कि भाई if I get into something तो उसको achieve करना है, मतलब कुछ भी करके कर लूंगा.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So it's a very interesting perspective of life. I'll try to implement if if I can. Okay. So I think yeah, we can probably move to the end of the conversation, and there are a couple of factual questions that I had. So yeah, I understand like it's relatively easy for a IIT tag to raise funds, and I'm of course not very surprised even how at early stage you got the money, and I'm not very much interested on the numbers part right now as well. But
Yeah.
first my first question is how do you know that you are building a VC worthy startup? As you rightly said, it has to be a it has to be a sizable market. That's the first thing. So how you eventually okay, let me reframe my question. How you make a how what are the couple of things that you have understood during your pitching sessions that works, and some things that should not be done
Yeah.
during those pitches?
So yeah, I think very interesting question. And not many people, even like some of my IT friends, does not understand this kind of thing. Like how does VC work? And it's like VC is a different industry altogether. Like so, there are different asset class. VC is one asset class, and I did not learn it during my pitching session. Like so, it's a benefit of Stanford. Like if you are at Stanford Graduate School of Business, the best business school in the US, like you learn those kind of things. So VC is an asset class, and VC is made to take risks. Like yeah, I will bet on 20 startups. I want to make money on just one. I don't want to make money on 20. That's for sure. Right? If you are a VC startup investor, or if like investing into a startup and you are investing in a startup with a fact कि यार हर startup में unicorn बना दूंगा, तो you are not a startup investor. That is very true. So if I am into a business where I am poised कि भाई मेरी 20 में से just two couple of companies will work and will be big. So what I want, at least I want something that can become big ना. I can't bet on something that can't become big. है ना. लाइक अगर मेरा वो बिजनेस ही अगर 2-3 करोड़ का ही बन सकता है मैक्सिमम, तो पॉइंट क्या है उसको बेट करने का ना. इवन दो द प्रोबेबिलिटी इज हायर, बट आई एम इनटू अ गेम वेयर आई कीप द प्रोबेबिलिटी लो बट रिटर्न हायर, है ना. लाइक देयर आर एक्स इनटू वाई. Like x is like how much big it can become. Y is like what is the probability that it can become big. I don't bet on y, maximizing y कि यार ये तो सक्सेसफुल होगा ही होगा. I bet on maximizing x. यार ये बड़ा हुआ ना तो मजा आ जाएगा लाइफ में ना. दैट काइंड ऑफ. So this is
Okay.
how the VC works. So of course,
Got it. So you are
you
saying
need to be
ki
something that can become big.
got it, got it, got it. So just project big, and eventually like one part of that of that so like as you said, two variables, right? X is about the size, and if you talk about Y, on the Y it somehow also depends on the team as well. Like if I want to get into auto loans,
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
want to get it with Paras, and I don't want to get it with
yes,
Mr. ABCD. So yeah, I
yes,
get it. I
yes,
get it.
yes.
Like I'm like in this conversation, I'm not sure like if you're done with around an hour, if I had money, I would have invested in you. So yeah, I'm pretty much sure. So
So
yeah. Okay.
but yeah, मतलब kind of VC works like that है ना कि. And like just extending a bit more here है ना. So a lot of my IT Delhi friends say यार फंडिंग उठा लेते हैं हमारे भी, हम तो प्रॉफिट कमा रहे हैं, हम तो भाई 1 करोड़ रुपए कमा रहे हैं. तुम 1 करोड़ रुपए तो कमा रहे हो साल में, है ना. बट it can't become more than 10 CR. कुछ भी कर लो तुम लाइफ में ना. That is not how the things will become. Like I will
Yeah.
never fund that kind of thing. तुम VC को समझो ना. You
Hmm.
can take some person money as a FD and उसको आप इतना 8% 9% इंटरेस्ट दे दोगे. That
Yeah.
is how. But that is not business of VC. If I am putting into something कि भाई जब मुझे बड़ा ही बनाना है, स्केल ही करना है, तो वाई विल पुट ऑन समथिंग जो मेरे को 1 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट देगा? नहीं चाहिए मुझे 1 करोड़ भाई, कोई बात नहीं, उसके लिए और चीजें है ना, तुम बैंक से लोन लो, यू अप्रोच अ प्राइवेट इक्विटी, वाई आर दिस डिफरेंट एसेट क्लास, थैंक यू। मतलब बिकॉज people have different mindset ना, I am that kind of investor that I will invest in this business because I can see the future that it can become big. और लाइक सम पीपल आर लाइक कि भाई मैं रिस्की नहीं, मुझे पता है कि भाई ये बिजनेस सक्सेसफुल होगा, बड़ा बनेगा कि नहीं बनेगा, पर मेरे को प्रॉफिट दे जाएगा ना, इट विल बिकम गुड,
got it.
गिव अ गुड आरओआई ऑन मी, देन आई विल पुट इट ओवर देयर। So you should think big, na? Like if you are talking about raising money from investors, think big. At least you think bigger, na? Make them think big as well.
Got
यार
it.
अगर बड़ा बनेगा ना, आई डोंट नो whether बड़ा बनेगा नहीं बनेगा ना, प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ कोर्स सक्सेस इज लो, बट अगर बड़ा बना तो मजा आ जाएगा, दैट काइंड ऑफ
Got
थिंग,
it.
इफ इट्स बिकम बिग इट्स अ बिग थिंग।
Got it. Got it. Okay, so I guess last question of the day. Who are your, those uh, Sigma founders for you? Probably in fintech or any other industry, like those who you actually admire and kind of, if you do admire. I know people who are
Yeah,
really anti everything. So if you admire someone, can you just name them and why?
yeah, I think I have been asked a lot of times, like, who is like your role model, founders you love, falana, falana. And I have always answered, I don't have any role model. है ना कि भाई मेरे role model कोई नहीं है ना. I think whoever have become big, I have done something good. And it's like that kind of, I appreciate all of the unicorn founders, even if they are doing something wrong or like whatever. I do like, yeah, at least they are better than the other 99.999% people. And that they are way bigger than those 99.999% people. And at least कुछ भी करके बनाया हो, $1 billion business बनाया, a lot of people give like shit to this कुणाल शाह, यार ये तो क्रेडिट पढ़ने पैसे उठाते रहता है फलाना, पैसे तो उठाए ना यार, ये सोचे तुमसे तो तू जाके उठा सकता है पैसा, कैन यू
Exactly.
रेज द काइंड ऑफ मनी दैट ही इज रेजिंग, है ना? आई
Exactly.
अप्रिशिएट हिम फॉर दैट व्हाटएवर ही इज डूइंग, है ना कि चलो ठीक है, कैसा भी बिजनेस बना रहा हो, आई डोंट वांट टू कमेंट ऑन दैट, बट ही कैन रेज मनी, दैट इज
Yeah.
हाउ ही बिल्ड बिजनेस। Every person has his own way of working, his own charisma or whatever, and I appreciate all of the founders, even a small founder who is trying and just raise pre-seed or even have not raised pre-seed but is trying hard to make something, I appreciate even that. Like, yeah, he is devoting 2 3 years of life. He is like out of, not out of this 99.9999% people who is like working on job ki bhai paisa chahiye, is like taking that kind of sacrifice for 2 3 5 10 years, you don't know, and trying to make something bigger, that kind of thing. So it's like, I think role models are always there. You can find a role, like something good in every person, I believe. And it's
Got
like
it. Got
so
it.
I keep doing that. And then personally, like I don't do comment on one founder. I think this community that I got a part to be, it is like it's a very good community that I am very fortunate. I learn from everyone, another who is there. At least something you can learn from everyone.
Got it. Okay, so I think it's time to close it. And a couple of things that I could conclude were like think big and pitch big, and that's the way to lead in the startup space. Be hungry, ambitious, and try and execute your efforts towards that. Don't be difficult. Like don't hesitate to take difficult decisions if it's aligning with your ultimate goal. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was a
Yeah,
really
just
worthy session.
so one more thing that I want to end, life goes on. So
Yeah,
whatever happens, like it will always go on. It will never stop for you. You can
right.
change, but life will go on. Like just 3 words that I want to end. It's like life goes on, so don't worry about anything. Like whether you are ambitious or not, whether you want to take this or not. Everyone has their different life perspective. Everyone has their different life, and it's like, and life will go on for everyone.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much, Paras. It was like
Thanks,
one of
Roshan.
kind of experience for me, having conversation with you. Like we have in fact had a lot of conversations before, but suddenly it was new. There was a couple of points which were very new to me as well. Thank you so much, and
And
let's catch up
thanks
soon.
to you, Dushyant. Thanks to you, Dushyant. And I think this kind of conversations are really helpful for me as well. That kind of, so we don't kind of discuss this kind of things with everyone, but when you force me to think about the back, है ना कि I have achieved this kind of thing, कि 7 marks भी आए थे, then I was a silver medalist, like yeah, मैंने किया हुआ है तो अब भी कर सकते ना, like you, it kind of remember भी यार, हाँ, like at least it kind of remember be my principles, है ना, that I act on. So thanks for such kind of candid conversation.
Thank you so much.